Here's a little tutorial of how I achieved this makeup look. First things first, I just conceal my eyes so that my eyeshadow can pop. I also clean up my eyebrows during the process. I pat it down because I want to make sure it's really even so I don't get any clumps. I'm using the Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent to set my entire eye. Now for eyeliner, I always start with my inner corner and line my lash line. From the corner of my eye, I flick up to create a line, and then I connect it back to my eyelid and fill it in from there. And then at this point, I would do any adjustments to make it thicker or thinner. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I decided to do lash clusters for this look with a pop of purple. I got these colorful lash clusters from Amazon. I'll put my lash map on the screen, but I focused the colorful lashes on the outer corner of my eye. I make sure to focus the bond on the base of the lash rather than the top part of the lash to make sure that they don't clump or stick together. I repeat the process with the black lashes and stack them right on top of the purple lashes. Back to my base, I'm using the Morphe Liquid Blush in Hot Shot. I used to use a beauty blender for this part, but I found that using a brush makes it more precise of where I want the product to go, and it's also a little bit more pigmented. I'm patting, not swiping, so I don't get those brush bristle imprints. I'm using the Kosas setting powder in Comfy to set where I put the concealer. I did my contour off camera, but I lined my contour underneath with the setting powder so it could be a little bit sharper and defined. Then I use a translucent setting powder to bake under my eye. I use whatever excess I have on the powder puff to set the rest of my face. I'm using the Juvia's Place bronzer in Cabo, making sure to tap off the excess and just placing it everywhere where I put my contour. I'm going back in under where I put the bronzer just to make sure it's still defined and even on both sides. Now what I've been doing more recently is I've been taking my light pink blush. This is Juvia's Place Volume 4 blush, and just placing it under my eye a little bit where my concealer is. I tap it in with my powder puff as if I'm setting it, and look at this difference. It's just a lot more seamless. I think it looks so cutesy and girly. Then I go in with a darker pink, only focusing on the apples of my cheeks. The easiest way to add a pop of color to any makeup look is just adding it to your lower lash line. Today I decided I wanted to do blue. I also drag it out a little bit to where my eyeliner stops. Now it's time to lock it all in with setting spray. I'm using the One Size setting spray. Now this step I've been doing for a while, but it makes all the difference using the bronzer, or you can even use the blush that you used on your face on your eyes. This just makes everything look very cohesive. Everything is blended all together, and this is the finished look. This is me with my hair done and things. Bye-bye!